Africa is a land of incredible life. Great herds of wildebeest cross the plains. Huge crocodiles wait in the rivers. And high above it all, eagles rule the sky. These birds are masters of flight. These birds are masters of hunting. They are symbols of power. They are symbols of wildness. When we see an eagle, we often wonder about its life. What does it see from so high up? How does it find its food? But there is another, more specific question that is just as important. It is a question about time. When exactly do these magnificent birds decide to hunt? Is it a random choice, or is there a hidden clock that guides their actions across the day and year? The answer is not simple. It is a story of survival. For an eagle, timing is everything. Hunting at the right moment can mean the difference between a full stomach and starvation. It can decide whether its chicks will grow strong or perish in the nest. The timing of a hunt is a complex decision. It is influenced by the sun. It is influenced by the weather. It is influenced by the seasons. It also depends on the type of eagle, the place it calls home, and the prey it seeks. Martial eagle on the Savannah, African fish eagle by the water. Each species has its own special schedule, a rhythm honed by evolution. To understand them, we must look through the lens of time. We need to explore the daily patterns of light and dark. We must follow the cycles of the seasons, the wet, lush months and the long, dry spells. We will follow eagles as they navigate their days and their years. We will see how they choose the perfect moment to strike. The life of an eagle is not just strength, but sharp eyes. It is also precision, strategy, and adaptation. This exploration will reveal the secrets behind their hunting success, why some prefer the cool light of dawn, while others use the heat of midday, how the rains bring new life and hunting chances, how a growing family forces more frequent hunts. By understanding when they hunt, we gain deeper appreciation. It is a story of intelligence, patience, and perfect timing played out every day across Africa. Our journey begins with the grand rhythm of the African year. Unlike the 4 distinct seasons you might know, Africa's clock is simpler. A time of rain, a time of drought. These 2 seasons drive life across the continent. They dictate when the grass will grow, when rivers will flow, when vast herds will migrate in search of food. For an eagle, these changes are the backdrop to its existence. They determine where prey will be and how easy it will be to catch. We start with the burst of life from spring's first rains. This is a time of plenty. The land turns green and countless young animals are born. For eagles, it can be a season of feasting. Then come the long, hot days of summer. The sun beats down, the land hardens and dries. Prey becomes harder to find, forcing eagles to change strategies and work harder for each meal. As summer fades, autumn brings change. In some places, a second, shorter rainy season arrives. In others, the long, dry period begins. Animals gather around the few water sources, creating hunting hotspots for clever eagles. This can be a critical time. Many eagles are raising their young. The pressure to find food becomes immense. Finally, winter arrives, often the driest, toughest time. The landscape is bare and food is scarce. Survival demands energy conservation and making every hunt count. Some prey are weakened by harsh conditions, offering opportunities for a patient hunter. Throughout this journey, the question of when an eagle hunts is deeply connected to the why. It is a story of survival, of raising a family, and of mastering the rhythms of the African continent. The savanna is perhaps the most iconic of all African landscapes. These vast grasslands, dotted with acacia trees, are home to an incredible diversity of life, including some of the most powerful eagles on the continent. The undisputed king of this domain is the martial eagle. This enormous bird, one of the largest in Africa, needs wide open spaces to hunt its substantial prey. Monitor lizards, game birds, young antelopes. Its hunting schedule is often tied to the heat of the day. During the hottest part of the day, when other animals seek shelter from the blistering sun, the martial eagle uses the conditions to its advantage. It launches itself into the sky, using thermals, rising columns of hot air, to soar effortlessly for hours. From its great height, it can survey a vast territory of many square kilometers, searching for any sign of movement below. This energy-efficient method of hunting is perfectly suited to the savanna environment. The savanna's seasonal rhythm dictates the martial eagle's life. During the wet season, the tall grass can make it harder to spot prey from the air. In these months, the eagle might spend more time perch hunting. When the dry season arrives, the grass withers and the land becomes more exposed. This makes aerial hunting more effective again. The bateleur, a colorful and distinctive eagle, is a master of low-level flight. It spends most of its day on the wing, gliding low over the savanna. Its head rocks from side to side as it scans the ground. For carrion, snakes, and birds. On the savanna, there is space for both the powerful specialist and the tireless generalist, each adapting its timing to the opportunities the Great Plains provide. Where there is water in Africa, there is a concentration of life, and the eagles are never far behind. The most famous resident of these watery realms is the African fish eagle. Its loud, ringing cry is often called the voice of Africa. Its life is tied not to the greening of the grass, but to the rise and fall of the water levels, and to the behavior of the fish that live within it. The African fish eagle often starts its day at dawn, perched on a high branch of a dead tree overlooking a lake or overlooking a river. When it sees a target, it launches into a swift, shallow dive, snatching the fish from the water with its large, sharp talons. During the dry season, as water levels in lakes drop and rivers drop, fish become concentrated in smaller, shallower pools. This can make hunting incredibly easy. The eagles may gather in large numbers at these shrinking water bodies, enjoying a temporary feast. Conversely, during the floods of the rainy season, the murky, turbulent water makes them much harder to spot. In these times, the fish eagle may have to work harder, or even turn to other prey like water birds. The continent is also home to dramatic mountain ranges. These high-altitude environments present a unique set of challenges for the eagles that live there. One of the most impressive mountain specialists is the Verreaux's eagle, also known as the black eagle. This large, powerful bird has a diet that is remarkably specific. It feeds almost exclusively on rock hyraxes. It often hunts in pairs, a stunning example of cooperative strategy. One eagle will fly past a hyrax colony, deliberately drawing the animal's attention. As the hyraxes watch the decoy, the second eagle swoops in from the opposite direction, silent and unseen, to snatch one from its rocky perch. Another bird of the high country is the auger buzzard. This raptor has a much broader diet, which is an advantage in the unpredictable mountain environment. It hunts snakes, lizards, rodents, and even large insects. Its adaptability allows it to thrive where a specialist might struggle. As the first hint of gray light softens the African night, a special period of activity begins. For many eagles, this is a prime window for hunting. Rodents finishing nocturnal activity, returning to burrows. Reptiles ending the night, moving toward basking spots. They can be less careful in these moments of transition, creating the perfect opportunity for an attentive eagle. The African fish eagle is a classic example of a dawn hunter. In the soft morning light, the surface of the water acts like a mirror, and any disturbance is easily seen. For eagles that hunt on land, like the tawny eagle, dawn offers different advantages. Snakes emerging to bask at first light are slow and sluggish, making them relatively easy prey. As morning gives way to the full heat of the day, a new hunting opportunity arises. Rising columns of hot air called thermals. For large, broad-winged eagles, these thermals are like elevators into the sky. The martial eagle is the ultimate master of the midday soar. It can spend hours circling effortlessly, thousands of feet above the savanna. From this incredible vantage point, its phenomenal eyesight comes into play. A young antelope wandering from its mother. The eagle must time its attack perfectly, using a long, incredibly fast dive or stoop to close the distance before its target has time to react. As the sun begins to dip towards the horizon, the rhythm of life changes once more. This period of fading light, known as dusk, is another critical hunting window for many African eagles. Nocturnal animals begin to stir. Diurnal creatures make their way to their roosts for the night. This flurry of activity creates a brief but intense period of opportunity. A Wahlberg's eagle, for instance, might position itself near a roosting site for birds like doves. This is the moment for a swift and silent attack. This final hunt of the day is especially important for eagles with hungry chicks in the nest, a final vital act before the land settles into the quiet of the African night. The breeding season marks the most critical and demanding period in an eagle's life. It all begins with courtship. The male eagle must prove he is a capable provider. He will spend more time hunting, specifically to bring food to the female. Once the pair bond is secure, the next task is building or repairing the nest, or eyrie. The male does most of the heavy lifting, while the female arranges them. Once the nest is ready and the female has laid her precious eggs, the rhythm of the eagle's lives changes completely. She becomes a prisoner of the nest, unable to hunt for herself. Her survival now depends entirely on the male's ability to provide for them both. The transfer of food at the nest is a quiet and careful ritual. The male, therefore, has a dual role. He is not only the provider, but also a guardian. The moment a chick finally breaks free from its egg, hatching, the atmosphere at the nest transforms. A newly hatched eagle chick is tiny, helpless, covered in soft white down. She will carefully tear off tiny, bite-sized shreds of meat and gently offer them to the chick's waiting beaks. As the chicks grow, their appetite grows even faster. Both parents must now hunt relentlessly from dawn and through dusk. They grow larger and stronger. They begin to stand up in the nest. They flap them vigorously, strengthening the muscles they will soon need for flight. The parents might even bring back live but injured prey to the nest. This gives fledglings a safe opportunity to practice a fatal bite. The parents often encourage this, sometimes by withholding food and by calling from a nearby branch. The fledgling's first flight is a monumental step, but it is far from the end of the parent's duties. The young eagle follows its parents, observing their hunting techniques, learning the geography of their territory. The young bird will often fail in its first attempts, misjudging its dive, failing to hold on to the struggling animal. The parents continue to provide food, ensuring the young eagle does not starve while it practices. Finally, the day comes when the young eagle is a proficient hunter in its own right. The parents may become less tolerant of its presence, gently encouraging it to leave their territory and find its own, all to ensure that one new eagle is ready to take its place in the African sky. Throughout this journey across Africa, we have seen that an eagle's life is ruled by time. The question of when they hunt is not a simple one, but a complex story of adaptation and survival, written by the sun, the seasons, and the urgent needs of family. We have also explored the daily clock that guides their hunts. The strongest driver is the call of the next generation. An eagle is not just a powerful hunter with sharp eyes and talons, it is a master strategist. The eagle's clock is a finely tuned instrument of survival, perfected over thousands of years, allowing these predators to thrive across Africa's diverse, ever-changing landscapes. The story of the African eagle is a story of resilience, but it is also one of increasing vulnerability. Human activity is changing their landscapes and their lives. Eagles also face more direct threats. Power lines as perches. Electrocution kills many raptors each year. In some areas, eagles are seen as a threat to livestock and are sometimes persecuted by farmers. Poisoned carcasses can be eaten by eagles with fatal consequences. The good news is that we can help. Simple and effective conservation actions can make a huge difference. Education programs for farmers promote coexistence and non-lethal livestock protection. The eagles of Africa are a shared treasure. Their presence signals a healthy, functioning ecosystem. If we act with foresight and care, future generations can look up and see eagles soaring. For those wishing to learn more, I recommend The Eagles of Africa book. Visit the Peregrine Fund website. Visit BirdLife International's website.